All right, good morning, everybody, and we have MSA Security on the line. This is IGTV, and we're recording for July 11th, 2011. And today, MSA Security is going to be talking about the expansion of U.S. drone strikes and impact analysis. Up first on the program from MSA is Brittany Dolan. Brittany, go ahead, take it away.
Good morning, my name is Brittany Dolan, and I'm going to speak to you today with my colleague Kaitlin Kinderbergh about the situation in Somalia. It's a topic that the MSA Intelligence Analysis Team has been researching and analyzing because of the high level of operational activity of militant group in the region, Al-Shabaab. A little over a week ago, it was revealed that our government has decided to expand its use of drone strikes to Somalia as a part of its counterterrorism operations. The United States has been utilizing drone strikes elsewhere up until this point, in Afghanistan and Pakistan, as well as in the Middle East. It's also worth mentioning that the U.S. has carried out airstrikes in Somalia in the past, but the most recent one, which happened at the end of June, is the first one since 2009. This strike has a lot of significance because it killed a number of foreign fighters and also caused injuries to two Al-Shabaab operatives who reportedly had links to the nominal leader of Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, or AQAP, Anwar al-Awlaki. As a side note, we should point out that al-Awlaki himself has been targeted by drone strikes. The reason behind the strike was that collected intelligence suggested that some members of Al-Shabaab had been working more intently with Al-Qaeda operatives to expand their operations outside of Somalia. One point that resonates with us is that there is a reported increase in the tempo of how often the militant groups in Yemen and Somalia are collaborating on different training, tactics, tradecraft, and planning. Some reports have even speculated that AQAP is the one that is sharing bomb-making tactics and expertise, which have been proven to be successful for the group in the past. And Al-Shabaab is offering a strategy and techniques on how to best recruit Western jihadists, which is their strong point. It's our feeling that this collaboration is most likely happening. What makes it even more worrisome is that we've already seen an arrest tied to the possible alliance. Ahmed Abdul Qadir Warsami, who is a top leader of the Al-Shabaab and was captured in the past April in the Gulf region by the U.S. forces, was accused of providing material support and resources to Al-Shabaab and AQAP. In particular, he has been called a go-between for the two groups because he was supposedly providing money and training to both groups for several years. For more background on Warsame, he was allegedly been fighting on behalf of Al-Shabaab in Somalia since at least 2009. The indictment on his arrest says he provided support to Al-Shabaab from as early as 2007 through this past year. Also, beginning in 2009, he supposedly provided funding, training, and potential terrorist operatives to AQAP. So we do see some overlap in the years he has been working with both groups. Furthermore, he allegedly had military training from AQAP in Yemen from 2010 to 2011. The charges related to his arrest also allege that he handled a weapons trade agreement between AQAP and Al-Shabaab. For more analysis on this potential alliance, I'll turn it over to Kaitlin.
Thank you, Brittany. In our previous IGTV briefs, we focused on the threat posed by AQAP. We know that they are very active in a large part of Yemen and that they may continue to take advantage of the instability and political crisis that's brewing throughout the country. It is assessed to be one of the top affiliated al-Qaeda groups as one of its most active arms. They've targeted the West within the last 2 years with their attempted Christmas Day bombing in 2009 and the more recent cargo bomb plot in October 2010. Also, in February earlier this year, United States officials warned us of a threat from AQAP against the banking and financial sector. Most recently, intelligence suggests that AQAP is behind the latest threat of terrorist operatives utilizing internal, surgically implanted explosive devices. Aside from attempted attacks against the United States, AQAP has been actively trying to recruit Western jihadists with their publication of the English language magazine Inspire. They've released 5 issues to date in which they offer propaganda, tactics, and motivational direction for their subscribers. They've also been able to counter and defeat standard Western security measures, such as in their Christmas Day bomb plot. So separately, we worry about AQAP, but Al-Shabaab is also disconcerting as they have continued to generate a large amount of activity in their area, as well as continue to recruit a fair number of Americans into their movement. The insurgency, Al-Shabaab, has been controlling much of southern Somalia since 2006. Its main focus is fighting against Somalia's current leadership, the transitional federal government. Al-Shabaab was behind the 2 bombings at restaurants in Uganda during the World Cup final a year ago. That was their first attack outside of their fighting in Somalia. Now, up until this point, we have felt that their ties to al-Qaeda were mostly weak, but this new information about AQAP causes us to believe that the connections are much more prominent than we previously assessed. Some United States military and intelligence officials consider al-Qaeda-affiliated groups in Yemen and Somalia a greater threat to America than the al-Qaeda operatives based in Pakistan. The United States included Somalia and al-Shabaab as a focus of counterterrorism operations in its 2011 National Strategy for Counterterrorism released on June 28. Al-Shabaab has been of increasing concern to U.S. counterterrorism officials over the last year, as it has been more focused on attacking targets outside of Somali borders and continues to threaten attacks against the United States. So combining their efforts with AQAP, who the U.S. considers to be a top threat to national security, could potentially give al-Shabaab an even greater capability to evolve its operations beyond Somalia. Aside from staging attacks, al-Shabaab has been able to successfully recruit Westerners in its operations. For instance, one of the group's most senior members is the American-born Omar Hamami, who actually grew up in Alabama but is now believed to be hiding in Somalia, and he has appeared in multiple al-Shabaab propaganda. Additionally, the United States Justice Department charged 14 people within the country with providing support to al-Shabaab in August of last year. Moreover, Somalia has just been named the #1 failed state in the world for a 4th year in a row, according to the Fund for Peace's 2011 Failed State Index. It was placed as such due to widespread lawlessness, ineffective government, terrorism, insurgency, crime, abysmal development, and piracy. As we've seen with AQAP, the instability and political crisis within a country can bolster the efforts and capabilities of insurgencies. The dangerous conditions within Somalia has even caused the United States to rely more heavily on proxy forces within Africa to combat terrorism in Somalia, including peacekeepers from the African Union. Given the recent setbacks of al-Qaeda Central, including the death of Osama bin Laden, we assess that affiliated groups to the organization may be feeling more pressure to either act on their own or to collaborate with other groups who share similar goals and can enhance one another's capabilities. In the case of AQAP and al-Shabaab, the close proximity of their networks also works in their favor. So this potential collaboration between the 2 groups will no doubt be further scrutinized by intelligence analysts. As always, if anyone has any questions on what we covered today, you can contact the MSA Intel team at 212-509-1336, extension 253. Thank you.
You're welcome, and very good analysis by both of you on that. Obviously, these world matters are really gaining a lot of steam out there. I know you folks develop reports. Do you also host them up on your website?
Yes, they are available for download directly on the website. There's a button that says Current MSA Analysis. So the website is www.msasecurity.net.
Okay. Could I ask you this, Kaitlin, after the program's over? Could you, right below your viewing of the show today up on our website, there's a live chat. Would you just put the link up there so that people can kind of get used to going over to your site for those reports? I think that would be.
Oh, great.
I think that would be very, very useful for everybody.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Great report, and have a good week. We'll see you soon.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye now.